And how do you think schools should reopen this fall? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the first thing I thought is they made a really big mistake by telling people what was going to happen in June or May. I would have just said, for communication purposes, this is what we know right now, but it could change in 2 weeks. So we're going to ask you to be fluid, knowing that the primary focus of everything is the safety of everybody involved in education.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this notion that when I'm with my family and friends, I'm safe. So your teachers are your friends and your students are your friends, so we'll be okay, that whole idea.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with friends, it has to do with a virus that just goes where it goes.
So should schools open in person, or do you believe in continuing virtual learning?
I think what I would do is, in order for virtual learning to maximize its impact, is that you have to establish a relationship with kids, where schools would get to know their students and teachers, especially elementary, and maybe you would have teachers with 10 kids and I'm just thinking out the box, for a week where they get to know each other and then transition. We're going to go to online and we're going to talk about why this is going to work. So you would set up a school online home relationship with the teacher, the student, and the parents, all as a part of these conversations. So that the student would not start with somebody they don't know and start with somebody that's foreign. And you'd have to do that across the district. And the logistics of it is nightmarish. But I think you could have staggered it out over the year and rolled out maybe elementary, maybe get the high school kids done first because they know all their teachers already. And then
Right.
you would do the middle school, maybe they know some of the teachers. And then elementary, maybe you would use those empty buildings because you could spread kids out in the high school, the elementary kids, in a big gym and have a classroom where they could meet with their teachers and get to know them. And then you would transition to the home environment.
If you were still working, would you be willing to go back this fall?
I don't know. I'm really glad I don't have to think about that because I don't have a definitive answer.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. I'm not doing this to be a martyr. I'm doing this because I like to teach. And this idea that teachers will do it for their kids. I was reprimanded a few years ago when we were doing a lockdown drill. And we did really well. They couldn't see us, they couldn't hear us. They turned on the light and said to me, "You're in the wrong place." And I said, "I'm hiding, I'm in my chair, nobody can see me." They said, "You should be in the front because you have to take the bullets first."
Oh my gosh!
And I looked at that guy and I said, "Who made that decision? Tell me who made that decision?" And he didn't have an answer. But there's this notion that that's what we're supposed to do. And I didn't do this to be a martyr. Yeah, I want my kids safe, and I would protect them, but I'm not willing to die to teach them when the American Revolution was. Don't expect me to take one for the team, so to speak, attitude,
Mm-hmm.
because no one knows what to do right now.
What do you think teachers need the most right now?
Reassurance.
Is that possible?
You need to be what I call the broken record technique. Reassurance that, and don't play them off as dumb or naive. This is going to be hard. It's going to be messy. There are going to be people getting sick. So what can we do to take care of each other?
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe when teachers are brought into it and decisions aren't foisted upon them, there is a different attitude that takes hold in a building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if there are some teachers that don't want to come back, they just can't do it, I think there should be online options provided for them.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me, because I'm a history teacher, I long for the American spirit that I've always counted on, that we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1940s, there was a polio epidemic that closed schools for an entire year. They shut down. The difference was you had mothers at home that could educate on, just think about like home ec and all of the sciences of the house or the sciences of the yard or the sciences of a car. That kind of stuff doesn't exist in the same way any longer. But I wish we would have had an attitude that, okay, this is what we got to do. We can do this. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, but we will come together and figure it out.